First time I can remember God coming into my life was about 15 years ago when I was working on a roof in Balmain, and anyway, on one afternoon we were just finishing up for the day, and a freak rainstorm came across and sort of washed me off the roof and hit the ground and did all sorts of damage, broke lots of bones, and spent about a week in hospital. And Shanni was driving me home, and I remember I looked over at her and sort of said words to the effect like, gee, that was lucky. The big fella upstairs must have been looking after me. The fall off the roof sort of, I think, jigged something in my brain, and from there I figured, well, okay, God's got me here for a reason, it must be to make money. So I just sort of turned into a workaholic, and we were fighting all the time and blueing, but I just thought that, every marriage does that, she's right, it's all good.
Rick was working so much and so often and never home. He never went to a sporting event. Work was everything. I thought I'd be better off alone. So I started making plans to be by myself. There was still a huge hole in my heart that nothing could fill, and not even he could fill. I was actually putting God's position on Rick. I wanted him to be the everything to me, and he couldn't. I logged on to Amazon.com, which is a book site in America, got some interior design magazines sent over, and in the package was a book that I didn't order, and it was a romantic fiction, which God knows I love, on about a couple that's about to divorce, and it was by a Christian author, and it was about redemption through Jesus Christ. So I read the book front to back. At the back of the book there's a verse, a prayer to get on your knees, pray to God. And so I did in my lounge room, just asked Jesus to come into my heart, and that instantly filled that hole that I had been searching for Rick or anything else to fill. And from that day I was a new person.
Yeah, Shanni was saved, and it was probably over the next 6 weeks I struggled with that. I was actually jealous of this relationship Shanni had with God. Not jealous of the relationship he had, but I was jealous that Shanni had a relationship with God. It was about 6 weeks later, she took all the kids and they went to Hillsong. And of course I was working till all hours of the night time, and the last night she said, "Oh Rick, you've got to come to Hillsong, it's unbelievable. It's just like a rock concert, just like a rock concert." So I cruised in. I got in there about 6 o'clock, and I can remember walking in, and I just felt like an alien because everyone else had something that I didn't have, and I felt like everyone was just looking at me. And as the night went on, I could feel my heart sort of start to soften and stuff, and then Brian Houston went for the altar call, and next thing I know, I'm down the front, and then ultimately saved that evening. So the next 6 months we pushed on, sort of got into God as much as we could and what we knew to do, and still had the company up in Sydney. We were living down in Kiama at this stage, and the company is still up in Sydney, going quite well. And I started feeling, just in my heart, that there was something not right with business partners I had up in Sydney in 3 different deals. And I was praying to God a couple of things. Firstly, that I wanted to be able to move my business down to Kiama, because that's where my family was now. And secondly, that praying to God to expose what just didn't feel right about these partners. Well, God answered my prayers in less than a week. These guys exposed themselves all right. They showed their true colours, and the whole 3 partners on 3 different deals actually turned on me in a week, and which meant the downfall of my company, my business, all the sites that I had. They were pretty big sites, so hence when I went under, there was pretty major media coverage on it. I was on the front page of about 6 different newspapers across the state, and over the course of the next 2 to 3 months, everything was gradually stripped from us, but still had my wife and my kids.
Yep.
We all stuck together through it, so it was a hard time, but we worked through it.
Knew that he would never leave us, he would never forsake us, he was right with us, he was our refuge in times of trouble. We just called those things over our family through all the death threats and summonses and lawyers and court cases and everything that then happened over that 2 years. We decided that, like Joshua, as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. That's it. No matter what we go through, we will never let him go. Yeah. And he saw us through.
Absolutely. I guess because we stuck with God and just put everything into God's hands and handed all over to the Lord, he, in return, he's just blessed us immensely, and to a point now that he's restored my business. we've opened up shop down here now, and things are going well for us. Our marriage is great, the kids are great, and God has restored, I think, something in us that that's invaluable. You know, you can't put a price tag on what now we've got and that God's blessed us with. You know.
That's it.